It has been a very busy week. My mum has also had a hip replacement. Her dog, who I'm looking after, Marley Sue, I had to rush her to emergency yesterday, the early hours of the morning, so it's been a hectic couple of days. And I've got to go and get more pumpkin for her because she's got a very upset tummy, and I feel like all of my videos lately have been about dogs eating things they shouldn't have eaten, or dogs with upset stomachs, and me making pumpkin. So I'm gonna go do more of that, but you are not coming along for that because you've seen me make pumpkin before. But something happier that you are gonna come along for is a ride to Costco. So let's go. Anything we get today has to be completely shelf stable because I have a rental review when we get back, and the house is already clean and tidy and organized just in case we didn't make it back from Sydney. So I don't want them to see all the stuff that I bought, and I don't want them to see all my food preserves. So it's all kind of organized in a way where it looks not so crazy at the moment. So everything needs to be totally shelf stable. Checking the opening time didn't even occur to me, and so when we came up there was like a massive queue of people trying to get in, and the gates were actually closed. So it's a first for Costco, so it's lovely to be here where it's nice and empty. My mum wants me to pick up some more granola, so we got to get some of that, and I want to see what other shelf stable items they have that I can add to my pantry and stash away while I'm waiting for my rental inspection. But I'm also really excited because I'm still doing the gluten challenge, so the celiac challenge. It means I can try some of the things I used to love here, like the cupcakes, but it does mean that I miss out on the goslomet today because I'm going to be doing a lot of driving today. I've got a physio appointment after this, and then I've got to go visit my mum in hospital, so I just don't want that sitting in the car for 3 hours, 4 hours. This is such a good deal on quinoa. In the supermarket it's about $10 a kilo, so even though I already have some, I might pick up another bag. First trolley item. I picked up a jar of these sun-dried tomatoes when I was here with my best friend in a video you guys might have seen. She said these taste absolutely amazing. I have not been able to open mine yet, but I'm going to pick up another one. I've been thinking about whether or not I'll get a big pack of pasta here. They're so much cheaper than gluten-free pasta, and I've been tolerating the celiac test ridiculously well. Apparently I am also negative for the celiac gene, which means that technically I could eat this, but I'm just potentially still wheat intolerant. Although taking a probiotic every single day, I have not been reacting to the wheat at all, and I've been eating a lot of wheat, so it's pretty exciting. Maybe I'm not wheat intolerant and I just needed some probiotics in my life. Even though I already have a fair amount of tomatoes in my extended pantry, I'm going to pick up one more tray because they're a great price at $11.99. But you know, there's supposed to be a tomato shortage worldwide, and I'm very new to canning. I still haven't actually canned my first thing, and I've been reading a lot of the recipes, and they talk about needing specific tomato varieties, and I don't know how strict that is, so I'd rather have the backup of an extra tray of tinned tomatoes. I'm still not going to pick up any flour, even though it's really cheap, until I finished the gluten challenge, the 6-week gluten challenge, and I definitively don't have celiacs. I probably won't pick up any big bags of flour, but I might pick up one of these pizza dough bags because I do like to make pizza when I have guests over, and I do enjoy pizza, so if I'm only wheat intolerant, this feels like a nice thing to have at home. This is the stuff my mum wanted, so we'll pick her up a bag. I love sweet potato chips. They're so good. I've never seen anything like this before, and last time we were at Costco we bought sweet potato sticks, and that did not turn out well. But $12.89 feels like a lot for a bag of chips, so I might leave that. Ugh. Here they are. Sweet potato sticks. No good. Amazing deal. $10.99 for a 4-pack. This was the first time in a long time that Costco have actually had gluten-free bread, and I was a little surprised to see that the prices had gone up by at least 50 cents a loaf, but it's still cheaper than buying it at our local supermarket. And even though it seems I'm tolerating wheat really fine, I think I'll be going back to gluten-free because I just don't feel as good as I do when I'm eating gluten-free. So I decided to pick up a 2-pack while I was there. They only had multigrain bread and I was looking for the white, but you know, it's still cheaper than supermarket, so I'll take what I can get. This looks really cool. This looks right up my niece's alley. She loves these weird giant-eyed toys and she's always talking about doing magic. And last night I found a video of her fixing my plants after the cockatoos had broken it when she was 2, saying she was going to magic it. Oh, it's $119. This might not be her birthday present. It makes real mist. That is kind of cool. I can't lie, I'm kind of into this one. Not $170 into it, but that is amazing. And that just makes me think of Home Alone. It feels a bit premature to have Christmas stuff out, especially $600 nutcrackers and holy moly, $1,000 Mickey Mouses. Far out. Christmas has arrived. Ooh, this is pretty. $36. They're trying to sucker me in with the Sleeping Beauty song. And if it wasn't Mickey, it might work. I love Sleeping Beauty. Now I feel like watching Sleeping Beauty instead of going to the physio. I need some thin Sharpies, but I don't need 25. That is crazy. Alright, let's get out of here. Oh my god, this is the queue all the way to the front. Queue goes all the way to the front. So much for the early morning run. That got crazy really quickly. Time for the physio. Sydney is such a rip-off. We just went through 3 tolls to get to the other side of Sydney in half an hour, and we are minute perfect to get me to my physio appointment just on time. And each toll was like $6 at least, which is just madness because I was only on each toll for each tollway for like a minute or two, so it's just crazy. But you know what wasn't a rip-off? Those pumpkins. I thought that I had maybe misread the sign and they were like $4-ish a kilo as opposed to $4 or $5 for each one, and they were over 2 kilos each one, so they were a bargain. And if I had had more time, I would have gone back and got another one because they were a steal. Every time I come to Sydney, I go to Costco, and that is really just because we don't have any kind of bulk buying opportunities down where I live, and I want to kind of make the most of being in Sydney, and I really like the experience, but they just don't have enough stock turnover, and especially if you're gluten-free, which I usually am, they don't have a lot of stock turnover. And it makes it kind of disappointing when you go back and you're hoping for something a little bit different or something to put in your pantry for long-term storage. They still didn't have chickpeas, which was kind of crazy. I know we're in a shortage, but given how many chickpeas they've had there in the past, it surprised me they didn't have any. Once I finished up at the physio, I drove across Sydney once again, this time across the Harbour Bridge to get to the hospital where my mum was staying, and she has just had a hip replacement, so I thought that it would be nice to buy her Portuguese tarts while we were at Costco, and I snuck 2 in for her and a coffee on the way up to the ward. Once I got to the ward, she was pretty comfortable, which was great. Not long after I arrived, it was time for Mum's physio session, which was perfect timing because I'm actually a very trained physio myself, and I was quite happy to be there and keep an eye on things and make sure she was doing everything that she needed to do. We got back last night after visiting my mum in hospital, and it was a strange experience because, for those who don't know, I am a physio, and the physios were kind of deferring to mum about when she would like to go home, and I was like, hello, you're supposed to be advising her about when it's appropriate to go home. So it was a very strange experience, but we got back late last night and I haven't been out to look at the seedlings we all planted together yet, and I don't know how everything's faring because my best friend who usually comes and waters everything while I'm away, well, she had life happen and she hasn't been here, but apparently it has been bucketing down with rain the whole time. So hopefully nothing has drowned, hopefully everything's okay, and I'm hoping that the seedlings are going to be ready to plant in the ground soon. They've been in the ground for 2 to 3 weeks. I can see one pot that's fallen over in the background with the wind, but let's have a look at the seedlings. Oh my god. They've grown so much. They look so good. Let me show you guys. So we've got Raf Attack back from his rainy walk, and thankfully for the moment the rain has abated. And look at these beautiful lettuces we've got. Amazing. We've even got some lovely red coming up from the loose leaf lettuce. The onions are coming along extremely slowly, but apparently it has been really, really cold while I've been gone. My zucchinis look amazing. So it looks like I'm gonna pluck that little weed. Every zucchini has come up. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular, I think they're called Black Beauty zucchinis. Oh, no. One of the golden zucchinis didn't come up. So we've got, oh no, 2. So we've got 3 golden zucchinis. We have got a whole stack of iceberg lettuce, which is amazing news given that these were $12 a head at the worst of inflation so far, as a result of La Nina, and apparently we're getting a second one. Last year I had no issues growing marigolds, but it looks like it's either too cold or too wet or too something and they haven't come up. I might actually tip out some of the water they've been sitting in. The sugar snap peas and the snow peas are looking amazing, particularly the snow peas. Not as many sugar snaps have come up. Bit of grass, that's fine. And oh, yellow tomatoes have finally emerged. What have we got over here? More silver beets bright lights. They're looking lovely and colourful. The leeks have started to appear and the dog is eating the grass. Marley Sue taught him how to do that. It's funny how they teach each other weird things like that. We have got a stray basil lemon. What did I plant that with? Oh, it'll be this one. I'll just stick it in there because it's missing one from there. And this is the red basil. So you can see the little red basils have started to appear, as have the lemon basils. And it looks like we've got a couple little cucamelons popping up and that they're slowly emerging. I need to find a stick to throw this dog so he stops chewing that ball in my ear. Here, Effie, go! Let's get rid of the ball, get rid of the ball, get rid of the ball! Got it. Okay. Now, back to the seedlings. So, Cosmos Sensation Gloria. Bit of a mixed bag on the germination here, but the Cosmos Sunset Yellows have done a better job of emerging, but again, it has been very cold. We've got a couple of cucumbers popping up. Any sign of capsicums? Nope. The Cosmos Candy Pink Stripe, which I harvested these seeds from the flowers I grew last year. Well, not last year. They grew them at the end of autumn. But they've done beautifully. The same cannot be said for the Cosmo seeds I bought. So I wonder if this is a case of when you harvest seeds that have survived a season or so in your garden, whether that means that then you get a better harvest the subsequent year because they're already used to your conditions and the fact that it's a little bit cooler down here on the coast. And it has been a very chilly start to spring. We have giant sunflowers that have come up. It looks like one has been munched and one might need a little bit of a helping hand to become unstuck. Oh, that did not quite go as I planned. It looks like somebody has eaten the root off that, but let's just stick that back in the ground and hope for the best. So we had a reasonable germination rate with those. Sorry about that squawking bird noise. They are, I think, called plovers, and they have these cute little babies that are all running around the area now. They look like tiny powder puffs. Oh, finally a capsicum. So this is the YOLO Wonder. We got two. That's about it for the capsicums. Maybe it's just a little bit too chilly for them. Okay, let's look at everything else. Potatoes looking very sad. I might try and dig them up soon. God, the weeds. Look at the weeds. And I can't even dig them out. I've tried, but they go down so deep you never get the root. And I feel like they're like almost like a succulent weed because they just keep coming up. Calendula still looking lovely. Whoa, silver beet looking fantastic. Amazing, that looks so good. Now let's see if any onions have survived. It mostly looks like little weeds, which is so annoying, but I think there are some onions in there. The trouble is they look a lot like the weeds as well. So it looks like we've got a couple of onions in there at the very least. So we'll see how that goes. Celery that I need to harvest. I did actually see some aphids on this bok choy plant before I left, and I sprayed them with soap. So let's have a look and see. It looks like there's a bit of an infestation there that needs to be dealt with, but I think, I mean, this is almost finished flowering. I will chuck this plant soon. How are we looking down here? That red cabbage still has aphids on it, but it looks a bit happier and healthier. And my word, this celery's grown. Weeds everywhere, weeds. See, this is all that happens. They just come up like that, even if you dig it down. I will get that later. Whoa, someone's had fun. Oh my god, that has grown. It was like, when we left, it was like this big, and we've been gone for 10 days. That is huge, and it has a slug on it. Gross. Wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna have to bring some scissors out and harvest that later. That's a very exciting development. What have you found over here, Effie? Hey? Oh, you better not be eating those mushrooms. But look at the colour on these silver beets. And it's so much easier to show you today because it's a bit, well, it's more than a bit overcast. It's full on raining, but the lights are just a bit easier when it's less intense. Oh, the colour is just so beautiful. So this is the bright lights mix of silver beets. Tomato looks like it needs some pruning of some funky leaves, but apart from that, it looks like this one looks like it needs some support, but other than that, it looks all right. We have beans. We have beans. And peas. Yay. Oh, so excited. How's everything else looking? I'm so excited about this. Oh, those cauliflowers burn out really quickly. This one looks like little pants. Honestly, pulling up my own food that I know how it's grown and that I started from seed, it gives me so much joy. And I just don't think there's any going back to a time where I didn't eat my own food and share my carrots with my dog who keeps trying to steal them. I'm going to pull these beetroots. I have never used raw beetroot. I've only ever used the canned stuff. So this is going to be an amazing learning experience. And look at how beautiful that is. I don't know if this is the difference in competition, but they've both got the same size leaves. And look at the difference in the beet. So the smaller one was tucked in here. And the larger one had, I guess, a little bit more space in there. But maybe I'll give the rest of them a little bit longer. What do you think, Reffy? You don't like beetroot. I gave you beetroot before. Let's have a look at these beets. Oh, there's a big one there. So we'll take that guy. No, you want to share, do you? I shared a beetroot with you last time and you wasted it. This one's better, is it? I'm so proud of our little harvest. This is pretty amazing, and I better take it inside before I lose any more carrots. You can have another little tiny one. This is pretty incredible. This is the first week of spring and we've been away for 10 days, so it's pretty incredible to come back to this. This is amazing and saves me more than one trip to the supermarket to get fresh fruit and veg. Let's take this inside, Ref. Come on. carrots. Raffy's tummy. You're just being a big fat piggy now. All right, I'll give you one more. One more, hang on. I got rained out the other day and I had a series of other commitments that took up my time, and the dog is not appreciating being kept out of the kitchen. But it means I haven't shown you the Costco haul or my pantry yet. So if you're still hanging with us, then I appreciate you staying with us, and let's do that now. So we've got our harvest, which we just did together because missing that day with the rain meant that all these things needed to just come out now. So this is the Costco haul. We didn't get that much this time because as I said, I'm having a rent review and I need to have somewhere to hide everything, and I don't want everything out and about, which might seem strange, but I have a funny real estate company. So I've got the slime, which is going to be probably a Christmas present for my niece. The jazz apples, which are my favorite. The gold kiwis that I'm going to dehydrate. One butternut pumpkin, which was an amazing deal. I should have got more, but it was just kind of one of those ones where you think it's going to end up being $4 a kilo, not $4 per pumpkin when you get to the front desk. The other one is with Marley Sue, and hopefully my dad is cooking that up for her. My dad is also picking my mum up from hospital today. We have got a slab of diced tomatoes, a Winnie the Pooh box set, which will be a gift, a big bag of quinoa, some more sun-dried tomatoes. I still haven't been able to open the first one. Problem for another day. The pizza dough, a pack of glass cleaner, the Madeleines, and I've eaten one. I ate it on the drive home. That was the first time I've ever had a Madeleine. I mean, it's all right, but I don't know that I'd ever buy them again. But the Portuguese tarts have been attacked by my family more significantly than the Madeleines have. So that's the entire Costco haul. Let's go to the pantry. My extended pantry is in a spare bedroom, and these are some of the things I picked up while I was in Sydney that I need to put away. So we've got some more moisture absorbers because we've had so much rain. I had my Amazon orders basically sent to my parents' house because it was going to arrive a lot sooner. So I've got my canning set. My mum picked me up a grill plate from Aldi, and this is also part of my birthday present from my mum. And I just brought down what I could, even though it's not my birthday yet. So, but I think she got me like 36 cans, which is amazing. And then I also received my preserving recipe book when I was in Sydney. And this gives me a bit more hope that I might be able to preserve. Every other recipe I've seen so far in the books that I have are all like really specific with the type of tomato and things like that you can use. And I don't know how strict those things are. So basically I've got all my preserving and cooking utensils all through here, and more canning jars, and then food that's sealed in Mylar bags and first aid kits, and then just some food. But what I've tried to do is make it so it's mostly my like cooking things, like my Thermomix and the pressure canner, although my mum also bought me a pressure canner for my birthday, so I don't know what I'm going to do with 2 pressure canners given I've never canned anything. So this should be interesting, so stick with us. We will find out what I'm going to do. But I didn't want it to look like all food when I have that rental inspection, because I didn't want them to think I'm insane. I just wanted them to think I cook a lot and it's hard to store cooking utensils, which it is. So I just kind of wanted to control how the rental inspection went. So hopefully this doesn't raise as many questions as me wildly preserving crazy amounts of food for one person, which, given the current climate, I don't think it's that crazy. So I've got a few things to put away now that we're back, and I've got to get the all the laundry and everything done so that the house is ready for the rental inspection. I think it's on Tuesday and today is Saturday or Sunday. So there's still a little bit to do, but otherwise we're pretty much ready to go. But I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. I think there's a stigma with people who have extended pantries or prepper pantries, or like people who don't preserve food or don't stockpile food or whatever you want to call it. They don't understand, and so I don't want to deal with that while I'm having a rental inspection. I just wanted to go smoothly and just move on with my life. I am basically, as I said, normally gluten-free. I am wheat intolerant. My celiac gene test came back negative recently, like a week ago or so, but I'm still completing the celiac challenge because apparently you can still have some odd gene that makes you express celiac disease, and I get a lot of weird medical things. So I'm just going to finish the celiac test again and be done with it for real, because last time I couldn't tolerate it. This time I'm doing a lot better. So anyway, but so the point was that with inflation, like gluten-free food is already really expensive. So I started to increase the amount of food I had because I was trying to counteract inflation and also learn to preserve the things I'm growing in the garden, because, you know, that will reduce my costs. And I'm sure you guys have heard all the reasons for having a extended pantry and preserving your own food before, but the point is I've organized my pantry this way for the real estate inspection. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it has been a long one, and I know it has turned into a bit of everything video, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.